And the very pursuit for love and acceptance and emotional stability often leaves us feeling desperate in life. And a young man who knows this on a personal level, more than most that I've met, is my friend Danny Horner. And Danny doesn't like to go by Danny. He likes to go by Dan. But because I've known him his whole life, I don't care. And so this is Danny Horner. Danny is a friend of our son Tyler. Thank you. I've been feeling, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Good.
Not getting sick.
And so we have a picture of you and our son Tyler. There you go in all of your glory. We didn't have it first hour, but our son Tyler is on the right. Danny's on the left. Well, you were cute at one time.
I thought you were joking first hour because you didn't have the picture. You actually have that.
No, we have people. And so this is a picture of those guys when they were doing a children's musical back when they were in, what was that? Is that kindergarten, first grade maybe?
Something
I don't
like that.
remember. Judy, do you know how old they were? Second grade. So there you go. Danny, you have a great story. And of course, Judy and I and so many of us have always loved you, but we admire you so much, particularly because you're willing and eager to tell your story. And so tell us a little bit about what you could add to the things that I'm talking about this morning.
Okay. Well, first off, a little background. I've known Pastor Randy for pretty much all 21 years of my life on this planet. I know him because I grew up in a Christian home. We went to a Christian church every Sunday. I went to Christian school. And pretty much grew up as the good Christian boy and stuff like that. I did pretty well in school. I never talked back to my parents. I didn't go out and party like those sinners and stuff like that. But I graduated high school like that. And 4 years later, dropped out of my third college. My parents have told me they just cannot have anything to do with me anymore because I've hurt them so bad. And I'm shaking, sitting in a cot in a rehab facility in Prescott, Arizona, detoxing off alcohol and some other substances. So how does that happen? Like I said, I grew up in the church. I grew up in Sunday school. I knew Feltboard Jesus and watched VeggieTales. I could recite all the 66 books of the Bible and stuff like that. And I also did well in school, and I got pretty good grades. So the problem was I knew all these things. I put stock in what I knew up here. And even though I knew all this stuff, I 100% completely had missed the point of what's in God's Word. I had no idea who God was, really. And I put faith in myself, even though I called myself a Christian. And so, after high school, I went to college, and I had faith in myself. But, I'm human. I'm not perfect, so sometimes I'd fail. And so I started to put my faith in other things. I started to put my faith in other people. And I became a people pleaser, which means I like me if you like me. So thanks for laughing at my jokes. It feels good. And I realized that if I had the alcohol or THC or whatever in my system, I got along with people a little better, at least at the beginning. And so over the years, I started to feel that hunger, that need for a sense of purpose, what Randy was talking about, that need for more with, ego, my self-confidence, substance, because that worked for a little while, and I grew dependent, and I formed an addiction out of that, and I became an alcoholic. And it's really hard to attend class when you're an alcoholic because, you don't remember anything. So I dropped out of college, my first college, and I started this pattern where something kind of big would happen in my life, something kind of bad, like I'd drop out of school, or I'd lose a job, or my family would do an intervention, and I'd stop drinking, and I'd stop getting high for a little bit. And I'd start to rebuild my life somewhat, and I might get a new job or go back to school. And then I'd be doing well for a little while, and then bam, I'd be right back to what I was doing before. I'd be getting high, and I'd drop out of school, and I'd lose the job, and my parents would kick me out again. And so this cycle started, and it was vicious. It went on for 3 years. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and again and expecting a different result. I kept trying to fix my own problems because, I can do this. I got this. I put on that facade. I'm smart enough. I'm strong enough, whatever. And I couldn't. All my plans failed. And that cycle finally broke a little over a year ago. I was up in Prescott, Arizona, which is beautiful. And I'm sitting in this bed, and I'm just kind of, my mind's racing. I didn't really want to be there. I went there because the alternative was sleeping at friends' couches or joining the military. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve to be here with these drug addicts and ex-cons and, these kind of people. I'm still the good Christian boy, or I can still be that. I can still fix that. And I started kind of asking these questions to myself and really to God, not just why am I here, but how do I get out of here? And even, questioning God himself, saying, okay, God, if you know everything, if you created me, why did you make me an addict? Why can't I just be a normal drinker? Why can't I just not drink, But I was asking all the wrong questions. And in the middle of these racing thoughts, one thought came through my head that was like an arrow piercing my heart. And it was, why don't you just ask me for help? And it was simple, and I swear it really wasn't what I wanted to think, and so I don't know if it was God talking to me directly or a seed that someone planted years ago that just finally sprouted, but that thought, why don't you just ask me for help, is what changed my life. And I realized that I've been trying to fix my life and run my life on my own terms, and that's not how life works. And so that night I just prayed to God, God help me, just simple. And that little act of surrender God used to save my life. And from then on forward, I got into the AA program, and I started to really start to live the life that I knew up here, and start to get into God's Word and start to understand it. But it's a daily battle. I struggle with every day, surrender. And I have to go to meetings, and I have to be in His Word, and I have to be constantly, actually doing the motions, not just knowing it up here. Otherwise, the ego will come back, and I know where that leads. That leads to where I should be, which would be a prison or worse. I shouldn't be here today, but God brought me here and He saved me here. And I do regret a lot of the things that I did. I regret how much stock I put in myself and the things of this world and the actions I committed in my addiction. But I can be grateful today because God had it all planned out. He had it all planned out so that I could see how wrong I was and that He could bring me closer to Him and that I could be a tool for Him eventually. So that's my story, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to share it.
Danny, how long have you been clean and sober?
15 months.
15 months.